Welcome to Not All Business, a podcast by two former CEOs who went from competitors to friends. I'm Blakely Graham. My co-host is Heather Cooper, who is missing today, but she will be joining later. And I'm also joined by our trusty producer, Clay Cornell. Today, we're calling an audible. I'm super sick.
We
Heather
can hear
is
it.
lost.
We can.
Thanks, Clay.
Sorry, we can hear it. I just want to say it out from the jump. We can hear it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Heather is lost in the interwebs, and Clay has a broken refrigerator. Today, we're going to play an episode we recorded over the summer. On this episode, we're talking about the skills that made you successful and why they may be exactly what's holding you back now. It's all about leveling up.
Blakely, it's just you and me today. I know we were trying to get Heather on. Internet issues.
What
it happens.
a disaster.
You know what's so funny is it is a disaster, but what's funny about it is that you and I were both having issues this week. Like we have to reschedule, like all of this, like you're sick. I've got my issue with my refrigerator and a few other things going on. And Heather was like managing the schedule. Then we show up. She's like, yeah, I'll be there. She's like, let's get together. I'll work around your schedules. You know, let's make this happen. Then we show up to record and it fails her internet fails spectacularly. So now it's you, sick person, and me, stressed out person who I've got a technician showing up here in a few minutes because I couldn't solve the issue. But I was going to, I was just going to say, isn't it ironic? But anyway, so it's pretty funny.
Are we quoting lyrics?
Early
in the morning, Clay?
Okay, you know that song? Okay. Yeah, of course you know that song.
Do I know that song? Did I just watch Lilith Fair documentary this weekend? Yes, I did.
Oh, was it good?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For people that lived it, it was phenomenal. I don't know if it's mainstream documentary, but I loved it.
Okay, a good recommendation when you're sick to sit down and watch?
That is why I was watching it, because I couldn't get out of bed.
Okay.
And actually, I'm heading back to bed while Clay fixes its refrigerator.
Yeah, and edit this episode. Okay, so top 3 things I wanted to ask from you while you're sick, but you're on, I'm assuming you're on some cocktail of pharmaceuticals that's keeping you here today, which I respect it. Yep. Okay, so number 1, what's the best sick watch? What are you watching? You know, if you're bed rotting, what do you turn on?
You know, when I had COVID pre-vaccine, so like I had like 3-week COVID in bed for 3 weeks, I binge watched the entire series of The Crown. It was really good.
Okay.
That was awesome.
And that's got to be like 40 hours worth of stuff to watch. I mean,
I was in bed for 3 solid weeks, so it was not a problem.
Yeah, my my watches would be like rewatching like Breaking Bad, Sopranos, or I was just talking to Heather about Doce Corazones, which is like a Spanish game show, and it's really fun. It's just a lot of energy and it's just fun. It's kind of chaotic and anyway.
So you like to watch the most high stressful shows when you're sick and you're supposed to be relaxing. Like Breaking Bad and Sopranos, I couldn't even get through those because they were so like high. Like you need something to like mellow you out. The pace of the Royals where everything's really slow.
Yeah,
you know
so you want to go slow and chill, and I want to feel like I'm doing or I'm in trouble. I'm stressed.
Like you're on drugs.
Maybe
you are on drugs probably.
Maybe that's why I don't recover fast. Okay, that's good for both of us to know. By the way, I am keeping every cough. So, and I'm going to cut to you when you take a sip of something. People need to see this.
Thanks. My tea.
Health is wealth. Drink your tea.
Health is wealth. Mm-hmm.
The second was, what are you taking? Like, what's your, what's like the, like I go for soup. You know, what are you consuming food-wise?
Well, I already take 22 supplements a day, so
22?
I don't feel like I do.
Are they all combined into one thing, or is it like a bunch?
No. I like to dabble in like longevity experimentation. It's too many. My doctor hates it, but I do add on a few more when I'm sick. So I add on like some kombucha, and another probiotic because I'm on antibiotics. That's got to like regulate you a little bit more, and I'm trying to think what else I have added on. Right now, I'm
Comfort
like,
food.
I have not been hungry. I drink a lot of tea. Yeah, no, soup. I'm broth. We did have some pho last night. Excuse me, because that's about all I could get down. But even the noodles were hard. It was brutal.
But like a pho
just
broth, that's good.
Yeah. But I'm full on over the counter Dayquil, NyQuil, ibuprofen.
I love
everything.
Dayquil. I love NyQuil.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not sponsors though.
Hold on. The pills. So I have tonsils the size of golf balls right now. And like my lymph nodes are even bigger. They're probably tennis balls. The Dayquil, NyQuil pills are an inch long by probably a quarter inch wide. And you have to take 2 of them. Mm-hmm. What were they thinking? Who can swallow that with your tonsils?
What they're thinking is you should drink the liquid. I'm a liquid guy. I like drinking the Dayquil liquid and the NyQuil liquid. Yeah, it comes in like
no, it came in a liquid.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And get the Vicks one too.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
That's the move.
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you for bringing that up. I had no idea. It's kind of like I didn't know they have these like little sayings on the tea.
Well, the pills get stuck in my throat too. And they basically sit there and you're like, I don't know. First of all, I am taking the medication, but at a certain point I'm like, what is in this that I just feel like it shouldn't be sitting right here. It's
I don't
supposed
even
to go
have
down.
a throat right now, Clay. Like
You're just
my tonsils
punching
are
them down
literally touching each other right now. The fact that I have a smile on my face is total bullshit.
Okay. Well, you're breathing, which is all we ask for on this podcast. Okay. But I do have one more question for you before we get to our guest and the conversation the rest of the episode today. My last question is, what's your setup? You're in your bed. Are you on the couch? Do you kind of like take over a room?
Yeah. Well, I'm always in my bed. I have a very comfortable bed. And it's set up with 2 dogs on either side of me because they will not leave my side when I'm sick. So it's really uncomfortable. And then I've got my bedside table, which has my book, my Kindle, a book, so both, and about 40 used tissues on top and like Dayquil and NyQuil like wrappers undone, and my glasses and my water bottle and my tea, but it's not that big. So it's like, it's a whole battle of me trying to like grab my tea and then my glasses knock off, and it's a disaster.
Okay.
I don't have a good setup. Do you have a good setup?
I'm going to answer is my setup was pretty normal. It's just bed, tea, and we have like a little projector. And so I set
in
up
your bedroom?
Yeah, it's this like little mini cube, and you set it behind you, and it goes onto a white wall, and
why?
Kind of just
Why
chill.
What do you put on that in your bedroom?
Oh, it's like Apple TV. So you just connect your Apple TV HDMI to the little projector, and then it goes onto the screen. I got the projector for free. Some guy just gave it to me at
a
job.
technical producer would have equipment like that in their bedroom. Just saying. That and people that need things projected onto their bedroom walls.
Projectors, I have friends who don't have a TV, they only have a projector. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, you just get one of those like gray pull down, like the silver screen, and it does everything else that a TV does. It just, it's like wider, and it's kind of like, it can be less bright, so it can be kind of more like moody. It's kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my sick setup is, what I was going to share. My sick setup is water, tea, whatever, NyQuil, Dayquil, all of that. My favorite thing are these like the Ricola like Throat Plus cherry drops with the menthol in the middle. Oh,
I love a Ricola.
I eat those when I'm not even sick. I'll be like, oh, my throat's a little dry or something, or I haven't drank water in a while. Let me just pop one of those. I love them. I'm crazy about them.
I have to tell you a cough drop story. Like 2 days ago, I was out and about, which I shouldn't be. I'm so contagious. I was terrible, but I had to do one thing. And I can't even like confess it because it was so horrible. But just know that I did that. But I put a cough drop in my mouth.
Okay.
Because I had a little bit of a public situation. And my throat is so swollen, like literally I think my tonsils are touching each other, that I aspirated on the saliva that was coming off the cough drop, and I started choking in the parking lot of the high school, and a jogger ran by and had to try to save me because she thought I was dying, and I might have been.
Wait, you're in your car and the jogger can hear you? Or you're just standing outside?
Walking out of the car trying to get I was trying to get to my daughter's, and like she got inducted into the honor society. I'm like, this is a big deal. I need to go. And I realized,
that's awesome.
No, I couldn't, like, I choked in the parking lot. So I went home. So that was, don't call me out for trying to go in public that sick.
Okay, well, we need to cut this
it was a fail.
now because I feel like you're going to aspirate now. So I'm really worried you're going to like pass out on the podcast. Okay, so let's get to the episode. We're so excited to play this. We recorded it over the summer, but we need to let listeners know what's coming up. So could you intro who Cindy is and maybe a little bit about what this conversation is to give a little tease for everybody?
Well, our guest today is Cindy Frigard, and she is actually the sponsor of our show. And you will find out why when you listen to this episode. She is the founder of Yours Truly, and she is truly phenomenal. She is a coach that helps people and businesses figure out what's next and how to get there. And she is going to teach us all on how to level up in our jobs.
Okay, great. Heather, we're sorry your internet got sick. Blakely, I'm sorry your throat got sick. Mm-hmm. My refrigerator, I'm sorry that I'm not looking up into heaven or where I'm like looking up into my kitchen right now.
I am.
All refrigerators go to heaven. My refrigerator, I'm sorry you're sick. Listeners, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Here we go.
See you next time. Hi, everyone. Blakely here. This episode of Not All Business is brought to you by Yours Truly, where strategist Cindy Frigard helps growth-minded leaders navigate pivotal moments with confidence. I worked with Cindy when I was CEO of TaskRay, and she's what I call a CEO whisperer. She helped us execute a complete brand pivot, boosted me up as a leader, and set us up to hit aggressive growth targets that led to our successful exit. Whether you've hit a growth plateau or you're evolving your company, maybe you're at a career crossroads, Yours Truly provides the strategic guidance you need, because what got you here won't always get you where you want to go. So sometimes you need a Cindy to help push you forward. Visit itsyourstruly.com and mention Not All Business for a complimentary strategy consultation. Okay, back to the show. Hey, Cindy, welcome. Welcome to Not All Business. I'm so excited to have you on today.
Hey, I'm excited to be here. Hey, Heather.
Yeah. I love the bookshelf and the color coordination. Once a creative, always a creative, and you are the most creative person I know.
And my screen backdrops, my fake ones, yes, I am. Thank you, Blakely.
Amazing. I want to hear where did Yours Truly come from, the name? I love it.
Actually, a really good friend of mine came up with the name. And at first I was like, ooh, too soft. But then I was thinking about it. I really actually want to work with more women. So I'm like, who cares if it's too soft? Yeah. And then I designed the logo to be strong. So, but I like this idea of the double play of like, I'm yours truly, but what we come up with is yours truly, right? So it's,
oh my God, that just gave me like chills. That's so good. You must be like a brand strategist or something.
Yeah.
That's so good. So are you working mostly with like founders then?
I'm working with founders a lot, and a lot of them in the SaaS space.
Mm-hmm.
But
software as a service.
Quick jump in.
Yeah, play.
So Cindy, I didn't tell you this ahead of time, and that's my fault. But we have a no acronyms allowed rule in order to open the space for people who might not know what the acronym is. In this case, it's me. So if you could use me as an example, what does that mean?
Software as a service. Yeah. It's apps, platforms.
Apps. Yeah, apps.
Yeah. apps,
you're the
basically.
customer of probably 30 of them in your just everyday life. Clay.
Okay.
30. He's got more than 30 apps on his phone. He's a millennial, for goodness sakes.
No, it's true.
Thank you. Okay.
We break that rule pretty much ourselves like 5 times an episode, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
But to your point, Heather, like with brand, I think that what I found is you have to work with the top. So you have to work with the founder, or you have to work with whoever's in charge. Because I've worked with marketing departments on brand, and it never goes well. Because they're not the decision makers, and they're not the vision person. You know, they're not the people that are trying to figure out where everybody's going and how to get there and all of that.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. The founders are always the ones that are able to hone in on the why, right? Like the center thing. We've all read that book, but honing in on the why, and it gets the further you get out from the center of the founder, the more I've seen that just gets lost in translation, and so that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
But when you have founders like yours truly,
a triple play on words.
I know. They may have that vision, may have that why, but they also may be the farthest thing from a competent leader like yours truly was.
Stop it.
No, I don't. Could I?
I would
should I
say
share a little bit about our
Yes.
meeting time? And then I think
are we gonna get some info about how you used to suck as a CEO until
Yes.
Cindy? And then
No, but wait. Time.
Oh,
I would say it wasn't a competency problem. It was a confidence problem.
Oh, we all know that. Like I have a confidence problem, like speaking in a microphone.
Does Cindy know that does Cindy know our background, that we were competing CEOs? Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. Did I tell you that?
Okay.
Did I tell you she was the CEO of, well, am I allowed to say our company's names? I probably just
Fuck it. Cloud Coach. Task Ray. We said it.
Yeah.
It's out there. I mean,
Yes.
a quick
It's
Google
like our
search
number
would
one
reveal it.
competitor.
So, yeah.
No, your logo was on lots of slides. Seen it.
How to take down Cloud Coach.
How to save
Why
time.
you choose Task Ray instead of
Over Cloud Coach.
The competitive analysis. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I see the arena I'm in. All right. Continue.
Blakely, go.
I'm gonna set it up a little bit because I know the value you bring is on how to help people like move up and how people to step up and how to like kind of get into that next role, because it can just look so different from what you were doing before. And yes, confidence has a ton to do with that, but you have real strategies to help people. So I am gonna frame up, Heather, for you when I actually sucked.
Okay.
And then maybe Cindy, through her own like personal story and me as a guinea pig, can show you how it's done.
Yeah. And just to be clear, I will not be offering any reciprocity by bringing my executive coach on. So that's all confidential. I'm keeping my incompetence
I'm an
under
open
wraps.
book.
Yeah. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Cindy.
Well, I'm going to start by saying
Cue it up.
Cindy and I worked together on marketing and brand, and that was fantastic. There was another dynamic going on in the company where we had 3 founders and everything was done by committee. And it was a real problem.
Gross.
And it was holding us back, right?
Yeah. Ugh.
And we were all brilliant in our own way, but together running things by committee actually made us quite toxic for the company.
And slow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that to be an ass. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you guys are slow. I'm just saying, like, common sense wise, it feels like it would.
Well, slow and like every decision, like we couldn't buy an IKEA office chair, like without agree. Do you know what I mean? Like it was that minutia. Or what are we going to have for lunch? Or what are we going to hang on our walls? Much less like what is going to be our strategy and direction for the company. Everything was slow. And we tried to divide it up by departments and it still didn't work out. And then what really happened, and I'm not going to share the whole story because that is deserving of a podcast with my co-founder sitting next to me, but our relationship started to erode and we went through a failed acquisition and I guess as simple as I can say, I'll set the scene. We were in a corporate retreat. It was our annual retreat with the executive team, the board, so to speak. And my co-founder had hit the wall. He was physically ill. He was on the floor in a ball in pain because we had just gone through the worst failed acquisition, and he was just done. He was done. My other co-founder was just like, you two, like, mom, dad, figure your shit out. And then we had our CFO that we had just hired, and he was like, what did I sign up for? Like, who is the adult in the room? And inside, I was just like, I want to do this. Like, let me lead. Let me be the CEO of this company. Let me take it to the next level. But my co-founder, in my head, I had always painted him as the perfect visionary, and he's so intelligent, and he's kind of a crystal ball seer. And so I'm like, oh, he's the visionary, I'm the operator. He's the visionary, I'm the operator. And I told myself so much that I, even though I know inside I could do it, I just never rose my hand. And somehow in this awful meeting, someone just had to be it. And I said, I want to be it. And I was crying so hard. And then I went back to the office, and he's like, fine, be it. Like, just
wait,
whatever.
you said it in that moment, like when he's on the floor, like that kind of moment, like that day?
I'm taking the job.
100%. It all happened in that
Did you
room.
like write it on a Post-it and slide it under his nose so he could just see it? Or did you say it? Like, how did you communicate in that moment? I'm curious.
I was sitting here.
Know.
It was awkward chemistry,
You
right?
were sitting at a table.
It was an Airbnb. We were in front of a fireplace.
Oh, a retreat.
In a house,
okay.
a retreat.
Yeah.
I was on the very left side of the couch.
Yeah.
Our technical co-founder was way on the far right side of the couch.
Okay.
My other
like a really big
partner
couch. Okay.
was like in a ball on the floor, kind of rocking, and our CFO, who was like 6'5", really tall, loud bass voice.
Yeah.
Presence. He had presence. Was
Yeah.
like had retreated to the staircase and was sitting on it, and he was like,
Wow.
like, what are we doing? And I think it was actually him that said, let's just call a vote. And
you threw your name in the hat at that point? Like you said, I'll do it?
I know this sounds really odd. I'll have to bring Eric on to talk about this, but I actually think Eric, maybe in a self-sacrificing kind of moment, said, I nominate Blakely, because I think he was just so done at that point.
He's the guy on the floor or the guy on the stairs?
He's the guy on the floor. And
The guy on the floor, okay.
And I think he maybe always thought he was going to be the CEO, right? So there was some tension there. It actually ends up being a beautiful love story. He's one of my closest friends. So again,
Sounds
that
like a
conversation.
movie.
It does sound like a
sounds
movie.
like a
Don't tell
movie
me it
scene.
takes like a weird turn where everybody busts out the wine and all of a sudden it's like we're hugging and hugging
4
too
years
long.
later.
Oh, okay. That kind of.
Yeah, like 4 years later, we were hugging.
Wow.
And we made up.
Okay.
So a lot happened. Anyway, that was the moment. Went back. It was time to get to work. And that's when all of a sudden, I feel like Cindy and my relation, I don't know what the proper grammar is, Cindy and my relationship took a turn. Because and then I really will stop talking, I promise, but where Cindy and her partner were always kind of like taking direction and like making it great, for the first time they're like, knock, knock, knock. Blakely, we think that maybe you would benefit from
awesome.
like basically being a better leader. But that's not how she said it. So is that right?
Okay.
Cindy, am I getting the story right?
Ish. I do have to shout out Eric, my husband, and he was my business partner.
Not
when
the
we were
guy on the
working
floor, Eric.
With TaskRay. Different Eric.
Two
Different.
Erics.
Okay, got it.
And Eric actually and Blakely have this real mind meldy, heart meldy thing that happens with them. And we sort of talked about it a lot. We're like, do we say something? But it was more about Blakely, you got this. Like, step into it, own it. Like, it's going to be fine. And I think what came up, and I can't remember the time in between, Blakely, between the ball on the floor situation and the CKO. But I think that sort of all coalesced around company kickoff, CKO.
Thank you.
Good job. Clay was about to zoom in.
Really helping Blakely sort of figure out how to talk about how she was going to lead the company. And it was sort of like her coming out party. And Eric and I sat in the back, and I'm going to cry right now, crying because she was so amazing and really sort of stepped into.
So Cindy, tell me when you and your partner Eric were thinking through, like, do I approach Blakely or not? Like, sounds like you both already knew. You knew that she would be fantastic. You saw things in her where you knew she could step up and she could do this. What were some of those things, if you can recall, that you saw in her that she would be a great leader?
I think, one, she's super smart. And she and I were talking about this the other day. It's like, she can see the through line, and she can really
And that's a different type of intelligence, I think. There's all different types, but I think seeing the through line is its own unique skill.
Yeah. And then I think the other thing is that she cared so deeply about the experience of the people that work there. And I think that was one of the great things about TaskRay. And I think this is an Eric thing too. It wasn't just a Blakely thing, which was we want to be a great place to work. And actually that was sort of the first vision line that we came up with too. So, and then there was there's another piece of it, which was it didn't really matter if like she didn't really know exactly what to do, but somebody had to take charge because we worked with a lot of different groups of people in the company. We were seeing sort of the fallout of not having clear leadership. And so that was sort of part of our decision to say, you know what, you got to do this and you can do this and it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Cindy, I know for me, like what made a difference, but how do you talk to someone? Like, where do you even start with them? Or what moves the needle the most when, what you got there isn't what's going to get you there? Like, I always usually see people as like these really high operational performers. And so they think they can do everything by themselves because they're so good at it, right? And then when you transition to leadership, that's actually not your job anymore.
Right. And these are all lessons that I had to learn on my own.
Yeah.
So I worked in corporate advertising for a long time. And I came up from basically working as a production artist back in the day, which it's not an acronym, but it's kind of hard to explain because nobody does that job really anymore. It was like involved pasting things on boards and then, all that. And then by the time I left my last corporate job, I was like, I can't remember, like a senior vice president. And I was merging 3 business units together. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. I bailed out. But along the way, I became an assistant manager, then a manager, then a director, then I joined the leadership team. And every single time I moved up, it was like, I got to learn all kinds of new lessons over again. So I was thinking about this, and Blakely and I were talking about, like, sort of like, what are those things that you have to be thinking about, and like these shifts you have to make in how you think about yourself. And so I came up with like 7. So
as you're going through the ranks, is that what you're saying? Like in those moments?
Yeah, like anytime you're evolving into a new leadership role, whether it's it's like from here to here or here, you know what I mean? It's like every time you move up, I think you have a new set of anxieties and a new set of like uncertainty about whether or not you can do that thing, and then also like how to be good at that thing, right? It's like the lessons that I had to learn the hard way. And one of the things, which is not one of my 7, is I think back on it now, and having a mentor or having like a personal advisory board is super helpful. Because I think the hardest thing, especially for women, is that there's like, you feel like you kind of can't talk to anybody about what you're feeling. And I will say in my corporate days, the women were not actually supporting each other. Like, I think a lot of women were just trying to like get ahead. So
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even say were.
I still,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you think still?
Oh yes, you don't. Are you kidding me? When's the last executive
when you
women's
guys were
conference
competitors,
went
did
to?
you support each other?
Not really.
Still don't.
I mean,
Could you reach out and say, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. How's it going for you?"
Point taken.
that would take that to such a vulnerable level. I mean,
Right.
you have to have this face, and it's still competitive. You know, and I think it's even a little harder between women because there's fewer seats at the table, and so then
Yep.
instead of picturing like, okay, well, I'm going to get to the table and then I'm going to do whatever I can to get another woman at the table. It's like, oh no, we're just both going to focus on fighting for that one seat.
Right.
And then it's a mistake. And yes, it will continue to evolve, but right now it is very much still competitive.
Then I guess I'm glad I'm still in the working
still
for
in
myself
business.
life.
Yeah.
Although I do miss the company car and all those things. But yeah, and I think the other thing too for women, it's like you don't get the support. You can't be vulnerable. And I think the thing is like no matter how senior you get, you're still you. You know what I mean? It's like you still
Yeah.
bring all your stuff with you, and it's like it just is. And being able to talk to people about that is helpful.
It absolutely is. It's why we're here, and it's why you're
Yeah.
here. So I'm you've got me on the edge of my seat. 7 things.
Okay, 7 things.
I'm
Okay.
so excited. Okay.
All right, the first one for me, which is a super hard one, and it's still a hard one, is delegating. And like understanding that when you empower other people to do things, it makes your life easier and it's better for everybody. But it's just like this hard lesson. And I think part of it is because in my family, it was like, bring your solutions, don't bring your problems. Like I learned that I had to have all the answers and I had to do things myself. And I had a narcissist mother, which is a whole other story. But it's like, I was very self-contained. And I learned how to be, and I brought that into my work, and it bit me in the butt so many times. So I think like learning that delegating is not weakness, it's actually a strength. Like that is something that's taken me a long time to learn.
good.
Yeah.
And Eric, my husband and partner, has been like when I say that, oh yeah, delegate, he's like, oh please, I've been telling you this for like 30 years. Like, so it's about time you figured it out. Okay,
Excuse me
next
while
one,
I just
it's
write
like,
down my next tattoo. I don't have a tattoo, but if I did a tattoo,
oh wait,
that
I've
would
got
be
a
a good
tattoo
one.
for you.
Okay.
No. It's
Okay.
coming.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. It's okay not to have all the answers. Again,
Yeah.
like in my family, it like you had to be right. You had to, like mistakes weren't really allowed. I have this one, like, traumatic therapy story, which is I was trying to read out of a book in a Japanese bookstore, and I said this phrase, which is, this is a book, wrong. And my mother mimicked me for like then and for years.
Oh.
It became like a family joke. But it was like, so you learn these things when you're young. And I think like a lot of women, you learn that you have to be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, no, I don't have to be right all the time. Like I can just own, like, I don't know. Like, and I think that, like,
So good.
I think in parenthood, I'm not a parent, but, I always tell my sisters this. It's like, if you tell your kid you don't know, or you're sorry or whatever, but I don't know, they are going to actually, it's better for them, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So-
it's free. It's freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, like, not knowing or being unsure, it's like, it's growth rather than like, oh God, I'm not capable. Like,
I'm not competent. Yeah.
I'm not competent. Okay, another one is like you can raise the bar without pissing people off. Again, another like hard
Explain.
lesson I learned is I like came into a management role and I'm like, I'm going to change how we do things because it's going to be so much better. And I stepped on all kinds of toes. And my boss at the time, he was the creative director of the agency, pulled me aside. He's like, okay, so here's the thing. You're like, right, you're smart. It's like what you're trying to do is right, but you're like 100 miles ahead of everybody and you're all out there alone. and I'm sending you off to Dale Carnegie. So he sent me off to Dale Carnegie. I had to learn how to like win friends and influence people. But it's like bringing people along is, as a leader, is super important. Mm-hmm. And I think you, especially when you're a new leader, you're like, oh, I got to show everybody how smart I am and how I deserve this job and how, you know, and it's like, that's not true.
Yeah. It's like that Siegel management where it's like the worst thing you can do is come into a company and just shit all over everything. Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Swoop in and shit all over everything. Yeah. Oh.
But it feels like what you kind of need to do because it feels like how you're going to prove yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to make an impact, but yep.
Number 4, keeping in mind that Coldplay is coming.
Listeners don't know that yet.
Oh yeah.
I'll
Listeners
tell you.
don't know. Blakely's going to Coldplay tonight.
Blakely's going to Coldplay.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm wearing this like half naked
sexy
outfit.
tricep outfit.
Do you have your see-through bag too? Don't forget it.
I have it. And listeners also don't know that Cindy gave me a Hammett like designer concert bag because she knows how much I love concerts. For my 50th birthday, Cindy and Eric gave me this bag. I wear it to every I do. It's ready by the door next to my
because you need it. Because they tried to take my Lululemon non-see-through bag away from me last time. I'm like,
oh, they did? Oh, no. I'm never without my Hammett bag. Okay. Anyway, that's another sponsor. There we go.
Well, hopefully you don't have to have tampons in it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this one is a sort of like a Blakely thing that we talked about a lot at the time when she was transitioning into her CEO role, which is you don't have to share everything. Like, people don't need to know
sister.
everything that's going on. It doesn't mean that you're less authentic or you're less transparent if you don't share it all. Because it makes people kind of feel unstable, especially when things are not going well. Like, they just don't need to hear about that stuff.
Oh, my God. I definitely do that. I've definitely done that.
It's
like I'm trying to let them, I know we're in a hurry, but it's like I want to set people at ease. So if I feel like I'm sharing this, then it's setting the stage to let them know that they can share that back with me. And I want to kind of create that sense. But then it's also in a weird way kind of putting that pressure on them or a burden to hold something that they didn't ask for. And then now you've put that on them. And then I don't know how they're going to take it or they're going to feel with it. It's a huge assumption on my part that they'd want to know it in the first place. But absolutely.
That's why you have a podcast. So you can like dump it all in the podcast.
Do it over here.
I'll deal with that here. Yeah.
But on in your day job, you got to play it cool.
Button it up a little bit. Yeah. All right. I received that. Next.
I think it's a fine line, right? Yeah. It's like you can't be completely opaque, but you don't have to share everything.
Yeah. I'm still working on it.
Same.
That one, I have a hard time with that one too. Never mind. All of these I have a hard time with. So, okay. This is another one that Blakely and I have been talking about, which is just because you feel like you're an imposter doesn't mean you don't belong. Like that feeling. And again, like I think I've been thinking about this a lot. It's like it doesn't matter if this is the first time you've been promoted or the 10th time you've been promoted. I think there's always that feeling like, do I deserve this? Do I belong here? Why did they give this to me? But it's like, the point is they gave you the job or they offered you. And, Blakely was talking about how she didn't take jobs because she didn't think she had enough training or education and I'm like, but they offered you the job. Like,
yeah, that's why I
thought you did.
Right. Yeah. And they don't make those decisions lightly either. I think
I have turned down more jobs than you can imagine, and it's weird. Like, who does that? Who self-sabotages themselves?
Sounds like a brag to me, but anyway, okay, number 6.
Fudge! Everything I say sounds like a brag. I feel like a douche. I'm so terrible.
I didn't take it that way.
You're not. I'm just joking. Keeping it light. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
number
we're on
5.
6.
Oh, 6. We're on number 6.
Right, we're on 6. Heather's keeping track. Okay, so this is my tattoo, actually. It's more than okay to take a pause before you respond. So, like, this big lesson I've been trying to learn the last couple years here is, like, stimulus, pause, respond, not stimulus, react. It's like, so this has been on a lot of, like, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. So it's like, Tara Brock is talking about this. Brene Brown is actually where I first heard it from. It's a Viktor Frankl, but not really quote that Stephen Covey has attributed to him, but can't figure out where he saw it. The Frankl people say they don't know where it came from, but it's like, what is the quote? It's between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our happiness, which for me is like just not, it's like it goes back to not feeling you have to have all the answers. It's like, just take a beat.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like triggered, or you're feeling like, oh God, I'm feeling like an imposter, or you don't know something. It's like, just, and also there's something about the pause just being the answer. You know, it's like, I've seen so many people that I consider to be good leaders just say nothing at all.
Oh, speaking volumes with silence.
Right?
Yeah, I love that.
Did you guys watch that? Was it called The Residence? That detective show. Anyway, she's this like, it's a Shonda Rhimes show. I think it's called The Residence. She's
Love
this
Shonda.
like detective. There's like this whodunit thing in the White House, and they're interrogating the suspects or whatever, and she's just sitting there, and the guy that she's interviewing is just blah 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 going on, and like just really making it bad for herself, and she says absolutely nothing the entire time for like 5 minutes.
It's an interrogation technique. Like it's
to be silent.
But we can use
Yes.
it.
Yeah, I used it. My quick little transition from COO to CEO story is that I had been doing the job for a little bit. Long story short, the CEO at the time had moved overseas, and so I was kind of practically doing the job, led the company through COVID, all these things. So we had this talk where I was like, I've already been COO for 4 years, and I just knew I wanted more. And I worked with my coach to figure out, like, do I want this? Like, full body, yes, I do want this. And so when I had to have the conversation, I was approaching it as co-CEOs because I was afraid. I was like, oh, he'll never want to give it up. Like he just won't want to do that. And I don't have enough guts to like say, here's why I think you should. And so I just asked for co-CEOs. And then he said, like you said, Blakely, immediately, I don't like the look of co-CEOs, which was the wise thing. And I also agree with, but I didn't have the guts to ask for more. And in that moment, previously I would have probably said, I get it. I agree. That's okay. But I was silent. And I just paused and I just took a deep breath. And then I said, well, what do you suggest? And then he surprised me and said, you know what? I think I'm ready to move over to founder, still be very involved, but let's just go ahead and make you CEO. And it was like beyond my wildest dreams of like, I had the courage to ask for it, but then I had that willingness to just stay silent in a very, very uncomfortable moment. I'm always feeling uncomfortable silences. But I just shut the fuck up and then just waited. And it worked.
That's the alternate title to number 6 is just
All right.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my tattoo. It's going to be like a little heart in between. Because I also think like in that pause, it's like, how can you, like whatever's happening, because usually it's triggering, it's like, how can I like respond with love? Like, and not anger or beating myself up or whatever it is that's going on in the moment that's probably not very positive.
Or apologizing. Jumping to right? Like taking on stuff that you shouldn't just because to get through it.
Right. Yeah, that's number 7.
Is it?
Well, it's like being strong doesn't mean you have to be selfless. And so it's kind of like, Heather, it's sort of what you're saying, which is I was listening to this podcast the other day about high functioning codependency. Have you guys heard of this concept?
I don't know, but I'm definitely that.
Just from you.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to check it out.
Yeah.
So this woman named Terry Cole came up with it. She's a psychiatrist or therapist. I can't remember what but it's like, okay. So she's like, when you take responsibility for things that aren't actually yours to take responsibility for. So it's like when you apologize, instead of just staying quiet, you're kind of taking responsibility for the other person's feelings. Even like, because a lot of times I think as women too, especially, like we'll just apologize. We don't mean it. We don't know what we're apologizing for.
Yeah.
So
sorry to interrupt. Sorry to do this. Sorry to just have a different opinion, but sorry.
Yeah.
But
We actually instituted in our house, I've got 2 teenagers, but this started when they were like 12 and 14. It was probably when I was going through all of this stuff. my son would swear all the time. So every time he swore, we made him do 5 push-ups. My daughter would say, I'm sorry all the time for anything. And we're like, this, every time you say, I'm sorry, you're doing 5 push-ups. And Heather, if you want to know who has the best triceps in the family.
Is that where your husband gets them from? All the sorries?
Yeah, all the family push-ups. Like, but it's so important to break young girls from that habit. It's so important. So all you moms and dads out there, like, just have your daughter get really big muscles by doing 5 push-ups every time
She leads
she
with,
says, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a bad habit for sure. Well, I feel like we need to schedule 7 more podcasts, stat. And we
I
just
agree.
need to break down every single one of these. Make
Well, you
t-shirts.
guys could just do an episode on each one with somebody else and talk to them about it.
Boo. I want you to
might
do
be a
every
regular.
single
We'll
one.
let you know on that, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Cindy. I want to keep talking for hours, but I know we're short on time. Just to wrap up, we ask the same question of all of our guests as we close out. And so just want to ask you, what brought a smile to your face this week?
Gosh, that wasn't the same question I thought it was going to be.
I think I asked you pre-show, what would your walk-on song be as a leader?
Yeah. Do you have an answer?
I love John Baptiste, his song Freedom.
Oh, that's a really good one.
He's coming to Red Rocks. I'm so
Oh, really? Yes.
Look at the
Red
smile
Rocks.
that just brought to her face.
Okay, I think we just found what brought the
Yes.
smile to her face. That John Baptiste is coming to Red Rocks.
Yes.
Oh, that is awesome. Mine was easy, packing up my daughter and bringing her home for the summer. Yeah, Blakely.
That's great.
Oh, my...
As you've been in Nice for the week, I'm sure you have one or two.
I have a ton, but I'm just super proud of my daughter. She just got her license, and I don't know. There's just something about that's like the next big phase of life where
Yeah,
I'm proud of her. I'm proud of
beautiful.
Smile.
You just all have to stay off the roads.
Yes.
That's right. That's what comes with it. But also, you don't have to drive her everywhere. That's awesome. You got to be happy.
Yeah,
about
that's
that
probably
too.
the true smile.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got a little bit of your life back, girl. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks, everybody, so much for listening. Thank you, Cindy, for being
Thank you,
here.
Cindy.
Thank
It was
you
so
for
awesome. Thank you for having me.
finding yours truly and, continuing to help business leaders and businesses with that. I think it's beautiful. So appreciate you.
Thank you.